Hello, and welcome back to the Outer Worlds. We have completed previous episode with basically wrapping up with secondary quests here in Emerald Vale. We have received some nice shock stick. That's exactly how it's called. I don't, however, have a power attack damage, so I cannot benefit from that. Yeah, because my primary skill, what at least I would like to do, and that does not work out so far very well, is to be sneaky and discover other solutions rather than bonking or shooting everything that moves. I'm also putting some skills in tech so that I can repair my stuff, or I hope that I will get some dialogue options. Now, that being said, I also have this plasma cutter that I enjoy a lot. And I have been enjoying this hunting rifle. I definitely like. There was a weapon. There was, yes, inspect. So there should be the range, effective range 101. Do I have anything that is at least somehow comparable to that? 5 meters. Oof. I don't think there is anything that comes close to this. Yeah, well, obviously not the melee weapons. Yes. So I also had a look. I know Guilty is charged, but I had a look at the wiki at the main quest because I was looking for a third solution rather than to divert the power to one of the factions, either the deserters or the spaces choice, and I have found none. So we'll have to make this choice. That being said, I would like to investigate something. I don't know how to encounter that though. So I might need to just talk with the lady here.
Anything else I can...
This might sound strange, but I don't know where I
That's
am.
not strange at all, dear. Few of us truly know where we are. The world can seem like a forest without end, and it is all too easy to lose one's way. But we must remember that being lost is the first step in discovering yourself.
No, I mean, I actually don't know where I am.
This is the old botanical lab, in Emerald Vale, on Terra 2. By the look on your face, I'm guessing you're not quite following me.
Nope.
Are you not feeling well? Ought to lay your head down if you're running fever.
I was kidnapped by a crazy scientist and shot into space, but thanks for asking.
That sounds like fever talk, all right. So why am I tempted to believe you? Where did you say you were from?
Does the hope ring any bells?
Is that a new settlement of some kind? I haven't kept news from outside the Vale.
Not exactly, it's a colony ship.
Oh, you're talking about that old piece of folklore. Now I'm convinced you're delirious. You really ought to lay your head down, dear. Babbling only agitates the humors. You ought to try some of my purgative tea. Won't cure what ails you, but it will distract you for a spell.
Let's just talk about something else.
I'm listening.
I am not sure now that this dialogue will lead me to what I'm looking for. Which is partially sad. But it's not crucial anyway, so I will make an attempt I might regret, just fast traveling to the plant. I hope to find myself inside the plant. Okay, right on the outskirts will also do. Now, if this guy was respawned, was anyone else respawned around here? Alright, let's see. Redirect power. Warning, safety failures detected. High likelihood of moderate to severe structural damage. Redirecting power is an irreversible procedure. Are you sure you want to continue? Continue. Power is currently being distributed to Edgewater and Botanical Laboratory. Redirecting power. Please select a destination. I select an Edgewater. Oof. Botanical Laboratory power regulator is now safe to remove. Warning, additional structural damage is detected. Permanent power failure detected in Botanical Laboratory. Blatant disregard for Space's choice property has been logged. Please report yourself to your designated supervisor for an immediate reprimand. Satisfied?
I think you did the rightest thing you could sending the power back to Edgewater. A lot of people would have suffered otherwise. People I care for. Even if they ain't care much for me.
Faces are so good in this game. Damn it. Deserter's reputation decreased. Not by... Interesting that like both my positive is high and my negative increased. How does that work out? Hmm. Journal. Convince the deserters to return. Am I now far enough? Yes, I am. Now. Now let's face the angry mob.
Home is where the heart is. Marauders took that saying a little too literally.
Everybody keeps staring at me. It's not my fault the power's dead.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit.
Ouch.
This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve. I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose my temper. Tell me, why did you do it?
Yeah, that's the thing. Basically, because Parvati and Vicar recommended that, and I'm like, yeah, fine. Because number one would assume that I'm working for Reed. I don't. Number two would mean that, well, why don't you steal the power from the Edgewater then, right? And number three is outright rude. So, okay, let's just try to say that this isn't personal.
You killed my garden, destroyed my community, sentenced my flock to a lifetime of slavery in Edgewater for a power regulator. Well, shit, I wish it was personal.
Ouch.
Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life here is over, and the only thing left to do is go back to Edgewater. This is now your responsibility. And you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die among my flowers than live under his management.
What happened to you, Adelaide?
My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear.
What if I'm willing to deal with Reed for you? No. You're being unreasonable?
As long as Reed is still in Edgewater, I will not return. Those are my terms.
Well, let's say that I'm willing to
You
deal.
offering to cross Reed off, huh? This some sort of twisted reparation for what you've done? Or you just looking for a chance to sow some chaos? Kill Reed if you must, or talk him into leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same four walls together.
Reed isn't going to just leave his post. I will need some convincing. I will need some help convincing him.
Tell Reed that I can make his people healthy again. I can end their plague. Start a new garden right in the cannery. 3 square meals for every man and woman in Edgewater. Tell him how I've made the Vale bloom again. The soil has whispered its secrets to me, and I alone know how to breathe life back into the earth. The secret is human corpses. I've been grinding them up in my fertilizer for years. Marauder, worker, don't matter much to me. The human body is rich with nutrients.
What happens when you run out of corpses?
Edgewater cemetery's got corpses aplenty. Enough for a generation's worth of crops.
Okay. Now you do not want to talk to me, right? Yep. You do not initiate any talk, and that is fine with me. Now. Quick trip back to Edgewater.
This is a fine day, friend. Power flows through our town like a cool stream of water. I trust Adelaide's people have seen their way to reason. So, when can I expect them back at their posts?
I spoke to Adelaide. She won't come back so long as you are here.
Then we are at an impasse. Stewardship over this town has been entrusted to me by Spacer's choice. I am not perfect. I have made my share of mistakes, but I have done my best for this town.
Well, the town's terrified of the plague. Abernathy asked me to steal medicine for him.
I am not without compassion for Abernathy's predicament, but the plague has taken a hard toll on us all. I am a Spacer's Choice man. My father was a Spacer's Choice man. Edgewater may not look like much to some buttoned-up freelancer, but it is my home.
Adelaide's people aren't getting sick with plague.
I don't believe you. Plague's a reality of life. Best treatment is a good work ethic.
Have your people ever eaten an actual vegetable?
The very notion is just grotesque. A raw vegetable? Why don't you just ask me to go chew the bark off of a tree? We are a Spacer's Choice Saltuna cannery. We eat saltuna here, and only saltuna.
That's it? Just saltuna every single day? Now, what exactly are you putting in those cans?
Processed, liquefied, retextured saltuna rendered in a chemical bath, of course. Well, mostly saltuna. We've been experiencing a saltuna shortage, you see. So we've had to improvise. We've added wood chips, some mushrooms, bit of sand, tossed some canid bits in our processor once. It all tastes like saltuna in the end.
How long have you been living like this?
Couple years, give or take. Right around the time the first wave of plagues hit the town.
Now connect the
Now
dots.
listen, I do not know what pretty rhetoric Adelaide has fed you, but plagues are a simple fact of life.
No. Adelaide's found a way to grow food. She'll come back if you step down.
You'll excuse me for being skeptical. How exactly is Adelaide growing crops in barren soil?
She's been using human corpses in her fertilizer.
Adelaide has been using dead bodies in her fertilizer? Come to think of it, that's a stroke of brilliance. What a remarkably efficient solution. Recycling Spacer's Choice property long after its date of expiration. I was wondering about those missing bodies in Silas's cemetery.
This town needs Adelaide. She won't come back so long as you're here.
So Adelaide wants me gone. Trade my life for the life of the town. You understand what she's doing. If I leave town, I am as good as dead. If I stay, Edgewater will die of attrition. Adelaide has discovered some secret cure for the plague, and she is holding my town ransom.
I can't make that decision for you, Reed.
No, I don't expect you to do any such thing. Edgewater is my own responsibility, and you have done quite enough for me already. If Adelaide's found a way to feed her people and cure the plague, then she deserves this office more than I do. I won't stand in her way. My life here is ended. Give me a little time to settle my affairs. I'm sure Adelaide will be glad to see the back of me.
What are your plans?
A couple months ago, I might have put in for a transfer. It's a big colony. Spacer's Choice has other towns. Now, I couldn't show my face in any of them.
Why not?
No such thing as an honorable resignation. Suppose I could find a place outside the walls, or put in for early retirement.
You haven't lost a day outside the walls, you know.
I don't know. I could see myself lasting a week.
This can't be easy for you.
I have always tried to do right by my town. It has never been easy.
Take care. So, skills. It's time to put additional 3 to stealth. Now I have all 50 and I'm extremely happy with that. So let's add a couple here. Weak spot damage. I might need to read about weak spot. Like, do I need to put anything in melee for that? But anyway, the 5 rest go into tech. Journal, codex, probably combat. Do have weak spots and headshots. All enemies have weak spots that inflict extra damage when hit. On humans, shots to the head are extra harmful, but weak spots can be in different places on the exotic animals and automechanicals of a halcyon colony. Okay, how do I identify the weak spot? Huh? I'm not aware of that thing. Oh, symbols. Some buffs. Menti block. Okay. Anyways.
Something you need?
No. Now we go here.
Look at that. The snake's come back.
I talked Reed into leaving. Come back to Edgewater.
I never thought I'd see the day that Reed Thompson abandoned his post. Suppose we all have a breaking point. Suppose it's time our flock made our way back to Edgewater. We must tend to what remains of the town and carry on with our lives as best we may. You're vexing to me, you know? Injuring us with one hand, helping us with the other. Here, I'm giving you something to leave us be.
22,000
It's a
XP.
ransom, you understand, not a reward.
I made a mess of things. Guess I'm just trying to set it right.
This don't put us on even footing, you understand. But it is a start.
The
I
board
might turn that
reputation
old
decreased.
cannery into a garden. Got ourselves a whole cemetery bursting with bodies. I need some time to gather my personals. Long walk back to Edgewater. Got a considerable burden to carry.
Adelaide's watch. What's Adelaide's watch? An antique. Okay. Ah, okie dokie. I was hoping for some sort of a speech, but no, she just heads back.
Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what to do is all.
Adelaide tells me she's moving back to Edgewater.
Adelaide said that? Was she sober at the time? I never imagined she'd step foot in Edgewater long as Reed ran the town. Something must have changed in Edgewater. Adelaide's good as family. If she's going back, so are we.
Never liked Reed much. Can't say I'm sorry he's gone.
So are you people going, or you people stay at the moment? You okay, like you stay? Now, I only need to return to Unreliable. And I guess we can go through the Marauder's hideout, like there. And through another encampment, and then to my place. So if I look southwest, this way. This was a mine path, was it not? No, it certainly was. The reason why I'm going this way is to mark off another location. I believe this one. We do have some K needs and other marauders there. $133, $131, so basically there is not that much difference. Swing rates 2.139, 2.46. Noise 5 versus 4, so this is ever so slightly quieter. I see that this building should be accessible. Yeah, but this guy just stands over there. That's not ideal. We have a thug and a hooligan over there. Ringleader. So, ringleader, what do you have here? Not much, to be honest. I will try this just once, okay?
Who goes?
Not even a scratch.
And nobody is the wiser? Oh, oh nice. However, that does not resolve my predicament of leaving this place. Mostly because of this guy. What I can do is this. Just run. I mean, ringleader is dead, so... oof. You have to be here. You have to be on this exact path, right? There is no way I can go around them. That is really not good.
Attacking. Oh! Roy's hit! Got 'em all.
The N-ray damage. What the hell is that? Some primal hides. In the end, the damage was not so bad as I was afraid. Yeah, these guys are back. That's also not cool. So, two of them. Having 160 something in their health. The next patch of grass might be over there, So I could try going behind this rock. Not sure if that is viable though. This one is pretty slow on changing his position. Maybe if they both walk another way, I can try going through, like in the direction of this rock. And now you please move.
Okay, keep him quiet.
Okay, that worked. That was nice. Now then.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model?
Okay,
Gosh, listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. I'm the only decent
Substitution
mechanic
woman.
Edgewater's got, but every time I think of going back, I get this sinking feeling.
You've never been on a ship before?
I've worked on the occasional supply coach in need of repairs. Once I built a little model craft out of spare parts, but Mr. Thompson found out and I had to take it apart. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves from my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And
I
if you
try
ever
to
need a
keep it
pair of
flying.
eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think?
Sure. I'd be glad to have you along. Pick a cabin, it's yours.
Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, mister. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain.
Okay. That makes me giddy for some reason. Oh, you have a gun. You also do not do anything. And you're standing there very menacingly. So, how about I do this? That did not help. You're still standing menacingly. Alright.
Captain, I have detected that Edgewater's power supply is now optimal. I applaud your willingness to invest your time in the local community.
Thank you.
What can I do for you, Captain?
I have a power regulator.
Do you know how to install a power regulator?
Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you, across the cargo bay, up the ladders.
I'll be back. Not that up high. Okay, got it. Well, it's spinning. How fast will you spin? Yeah, not that fast. There was a moment in Alien Isolation, that might be a spoiler, But at a certain moment, you, let's say, participate in fixing an engine of sorts, and I hope you're not broken. And the animation there is so much more vibrant.
What can I do for you, Captain?
I've installed the regulator.
All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the Unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Let's get out of here. Nice. Do I have 5 engines? Against all
We have
odds,
received
the
a
Unreliable.
communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Okay. Good, I've been waiting to hear from him.
Aha, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the Unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you.
I've been feeling a little lightheaded. Also, I can slow down time.
Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Culkelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay.
Why do I need a nav key to land on a planet?
Strictly speaking, Monarch is a moon, terraformed badly, and almost completely lawless. You'll love it. Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Culkelly.
Right, the black marketeer.
Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her.
What's stopping me from just leaving Halcyon altogether?
Without a skip drive, good luck. You'll be dead before you make it to the nearest star. Look, I admire your optimism, but the sad truth is you're stuck here. You, me, and the rest of this colony. We're all skating precariously around the edge of oblivion together. None of us are leaving Halcyon alive, so we may as well make it a better place, and we can start by reviving the Hope.
Fine, I'll go have a word with Gladys.
Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology, years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters.
You want to explain what it is?
Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the user's appearance to mimic that of another. It has limits. First-generation technology, you see, but promising. Exciting to see it in use at last. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you.
You mentioned this thing has limitations.
Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker, blur, something like that. Movement makes it more likely. Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention. If they pay attention, they're more likely to notice flaws in the hologram.
Why do I need a gadget for this? Couldn't I just steal a uniform or something?
A change of clothes. What is this? Some old spy serial? What inattentive and brainless guard would be fooled by such a shabby disguise? The holographic shroud masks not only your clothes, but your face and fingerprints. It modulates your voice and sweetens your breath.
Oh? How the hell does a hologram sweeten your breath?
Science, that's how.
I'll put it to good use.
Excellent.
Thanks.
I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab.
Why do you need the
And
chemicals?
remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
Okay. Which one is that? Okay. Oh. Okay. Parvati.
The repair station is currently idle.
Yeah, so this is my hidey spot now. I was looking for a place that was quiet. I figured the kitchen would be louder than the hold, so here I am. Cozy like, ain't it?
What do you think of the ship?
That's in pretty good shape considering how hard Mr. Hawthorne ran it. It's a Yakita LHA 120, A2 model, I'm pretty sure. The Block 2 design scooshed in extra cargo space but didn't change the stock engines. Probably a touch underpowered, huh?
Accurate in all particulars. I conclude you are Edgewater's board-certified mechanic.
Apparently Ada's the ones who actually flies the ship.
Fly-by-wire's pretty normal. Or leastways, that's what I read in the trades. I've never been on a real ship before. Hello! I am not a board-certified mechanic, but my dad was. He taught me all he knew. Do you understand?
Speech recognition is one of the many skills I have been programmed to simulate.
You're not simulating it, you're doing it! I asked a question and you answered it.
I am gratified you consider this facsimile convincing.
So, what do you think, Parvati? Is this safe to fly now that we got the regulator?
I don't see any holes in the hull. I'll take a good squint at her, make sure everything's tip-top. But I think we're cooking with plasma torches. You can do that, you know. My dad taught me how to make grilled cheese sandwiches with a plasma torch.
Break time's over. Break time's over. God damn it. Oh, that's a bench. Yep, nothing unusual here, I assume. Tossball stick, sure. Let me do that first. Thank you. Oops. Oh, you were right behind me. That's a respec terminal. I'm not interested in that at the moment. Wonder where is Vicar? Okay, that would be the toilet. Probably there is an appropriate ship name for that. What doesn't kill you gives you that. Okay. Oh, you are here. Good. In a horrifying vision of the future, the board has been overthrown by the seditious and slovenly savages of Monarch. Only Halcyon Helen can rescue the colony from indolence and entitlement. Okay. Doctrinal Studies 539 of Equity and Equations. These textbooks have been out of print for almost half a century. The margins are filled with scribbled notes and many passages have been underlined. Some pages have come loose, the glue now yellowed and cracked along the spines. But there are 3 books, right? No. The Journal of Maximilian de Soto. Okay. Index of Banned Literature. OSI anointment vial. Smells suspiciously like iceberg-aged whiskey. Some heavy ammunition. Tossball trading cards. Maybe I should have collected those. The art and science of tossball, impossible to put down. The endorsement has been approved. Ponticleo's darlings. You are quite the scholar, eh?
Yes, you caught me ruminating again. Guilty as charged. What's occupying your thoughts?
What's your story?
Nothing too out of the ordinary. Just your run-of-the-mill vicar with a violently enthusiastic disposition.
Violently enthusiastic disposition?
That's what my parents called it. I grew up in a pit of a town much like Edgewater. I was destined to be a laborer like my parents, but I was infected early with a need to solve the equation. My passion didn't sit well with them.
Why were you so passionate about it?
My parents, ironically. They internalized the precepts of scientism like no one I've ever known. They had a pure faith, a faith that brought joy to them regardless of the situation. I envied that. I wanted that peace. I thought if I became a vicar, I could find it. Or at the very least, find out why I lacked it.
But weren't they proud when you became a vicar at least?
They thought I was fighting the plan, should have accepted my lot. Some people pursue the clergy for power, prestige, but that was not me.
What's this plan you keep talking about?
The simple version is this. The force which we call the Grand Architect created the universal equation that underlies and defines everything in the universe. Everything flows from the equation, or in layman's terms, the grand plan. Is the Grand Architect a consciousness? A natural force? Did it create the equation on purpose? The answers to these questions don't really matter. The equation, the plan, is all that matters. Contentment is found by accepting one's role in the plan.
If you can't help but follow the plan, then everything you do is part of it, right?
The plan is not one rigid path. There are a variety of multitudes contained within it. Our paths have variance, but we'll end up adhering to it whether we like it or not. Some choices make the path smoother, some rougher. You can even go outside the lines, but the further outside you go, it's like an unbreakable elastic band. It will only stretch so far before it snaps back. The further it is stretched, the more violent the eventual correction.
Seems quite trusting of you to just sign on without knowing anything about me.
I have run headlong into too many walls in my pursuit of the truth. This book is my last hope, and you were my only hope of getting it translated.
What if the book doesn't have the answers you're looking for?
I honestly don't know what I'd do. This quest has consumed me for the better part of my life. I fear there's nothing else left to me. What about you? What's your story?
I was a colonist on the Hope. A scientist named Wells saved me.
And how did he do that?
He stole my body from the Hope at the edge of the colony and towed me out.
Well, you do seem different than every other colonist. Let's pretend for the moment I believe you. What are you going to do now?
I'm helping him recover more of the chemicals he needs to save the rest of the colonists.
That seems a dangerous proposition. Why risk your life now that it's been returned to you?
Good question. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Tell me again about the book.
Bakonu, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the Philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this colony.
And what are your thoughts on philosophists?
Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true.
Okay, yes, I remember
but
that
most
part.
of the philosophist perversion of Bakonu's thoughts came more than a century after.
Okay, can we find someone who speaks French?
I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosopher scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago. He's an expert on Bakonu. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book, it would be him.
A former what now? He said something about association or something, did he not?
You caught me. Listen, the OSI frowns on fraternization with philosophists. I'd like to keep my associations with our scholar friend quiet.
Seriously? Only one guy in this whole colony that can translate French?
The only one I'm aware of. I suppose we could always just ask random passers-by if they are fluent in it.
Yeah, point taken.
We should start on the Groundbreaker. It's where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures.
Remind me, how are you such a highly skilled hacker?
Before I transferred to Edgewater, I had a wealth of time to develop certain, secular skills during my years serving a particular penitentiary flock. I meditated, led sermons, provided guidance to the inmates as needed, of course. I also played prison yard tossball and taught myself a bit about computronic security systems.
How will a crew manifest help us track down your skull friend?
I'll comb the last 6 months of departure manifest to track the Philosophist's off-world destination.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Thank you, Captain.
Is that my place? Petunia the plant. This is not the petunia. The modern steel range and you. This book is heavily dog-eared with doodles in the margins. Is that Parvati's room? Hmm. Definitely looks like one. First range that ever gave me. She's been a friend ever since. Some faces are pretty generic, I must say. What the... Created for a prank, Sam wore this sign for a week before ADA noticed and pointed it out to the janitorial unit. Who placed it on the unit, however, remains a mystery. And I am looking for the captain's... Oh yeah. Adelaide's deserters dreamed of an independent life without board oversight. You taught them an important lesson. Never dream. Ouch. The shroud projects a disguise on you and your companions that gives you access to restricted areas, provided you have the correct ID cartridge for that area. Restricted areas are off-limits to unauthorized personnel and otherwise result in being attacked on sight. I also happen to have my terminal around here, my personal sleeping room. Yeah, it's called the bed. And a bin where I can transfer stuff, which I will be so happy to do. Oh no. Nice. These things do not weigh anything. I do have some junk. Okay, I do have some tossball cards, but I was unable to give them to Vika, right? Now, if I remove 10 of those, would I lose a kilo? Yes. Okay, I might sell some of that and maybe some of the other stuff. Spaces choice, spaces choice. Heals 25%. Movement speed. Okay, give me a moment for a very short break. Now, where were we? Yes, I was here. Terminal. Messages from Alex for Alex Hawthorne. Unread messages from Bedford. Oh, I forgot to mention in my previous message, silly me, I'm mailing you a copy of my favorite serial, The Space Adventures of Singularity Steel. It's about a dashing space pirate with a heart of, well, steel. It's not exactly board approved, so don't you go showing it around to your space buddies. I hope it will amuse you while you are out adventuring. Any similarities to a certain someone are entirely intentional. Archived. Okay. Dearest Alex, oh, I will have probably problems with Mr. Bedford. I can't tell you how pleased I am to finally hear from you. Your message was hilarious. I am delighted by your sense of humor and the tale of your hijinks. I hope your terminal will cooperate for the foreseeable future. By the by, I was scraping Groundbreaker's comms network for tasty little tidbits, and I noticed you declined to dock at Edgewater's landing pad and instead touched down in the wilderness. You rugged individualist, you. I only pray that idiot Thompson wasn't giving you any trouble. Anyway, I hope your meeting down on Terra 2 proves fruitful, and I look forward to corresponding with greater regularity. Alex, I don't know where you were raised, but I'd hazard to guess it may have been a barn, because anyone with even a modicum of decent rearing would know it's unforgivably rude to ignore the ardent, sincere messages of one's friends. Please respond. Hello, hello. Hope this finds you well. It was a pleasure to see you in my office again last week. Once again, I'm terribly sorry about the impounding mix-up. How could it have happened a second time? Terminals these days, I swear. Dreadfully unreliable. Just like your ship. I hope you've given some thought to the thing we discussed, about the Wells fellow. I'm sorry to press, but I have the strangest tickling feeling that you really do know him. And if you could just tell me where he is, well, it would be marvelous for our friendship, wouldn't it? Looking forward to seeing you again, wingman. Dear Alex, hello. Udom here, Udom Bedford. We met when I accidentally impounded your ship. My silly fat fingers embarrassing me once again. I hope that wasn't too terribly inconvenient for you. It was such a pleasure for me, and I tremendously appreciate your forbearance in not throttling me. You really are quite a gentleman. If you are ever in Groundbreaker's airspace, well, space, please don't hesitate to look me up. The Lost Hope serves Spectrum vodka. Perhaps we could try every color. Really tie one on. Okay, this completely puts me out. Send messages to Bedford. Look, there is no call for shouting. My terminal was busted. Had a few too many and might have knocked it off the desk. You know how it is. Sometimes you just gotta cut loose. I'm not telling you where Wells off, so lay off. Buy me a drink at the Lost Hope next time I'm in, and I might forgive you. Logs. Shrink ray. Remember this later. No, better. Ada, remind me weekly to check this log until I tell you to stop. Yes, I mean continually. No, Ada, not if I'm dead. Why would you even ask me that? Back to my point. I saw in actuality with my own two eyes a sublimely powerful weapon in Wells' lab, just sitting there for the taking. In the gray hair, if the gray hair were to look away or forget about it, maybe, or if I had asked a smidgen more nicely, he called it a shrink ray, but wouldn't let me test that claim after I lost my temper. Said he was inspired to create the thing by the achievement of other scientists who dared to push the boundaries of human knowledge and decency laws. I had heard rumors of fantastical weapons like this one, weapons that push the boundaries of the mind and science cutting edge, but I figured they were just stories to be told. Uh, Stories, to be honest. Laying eyes on Wells' shrink ray firsthand is enough to make a fellow wonder if there's more to the rumors. More to be had. Log entry 2. Hammer power. The last time I got sloshed, was imbibing at the Lost Hope on the Groundbreaker. Look, Udon was really free with the drinks. He seems like an okay fellow. I shamelessly but subtly eavesdropped on two Mardets yammering on about a mad scientist some years back who'd claimed he'd made a huge discovery that would change the fate of the colony. Like none of us have heard that one before. But here is the good part. The Mardets said the mad scientist kept yelling about the hammer's power or something similar. A strange weapon with a special power created by a crazy web code? Sure fits the bill. It could be another one of the weapons that inspired Wells. Log entry 3. Black market leads. Why won't Wells just give the shrink ray to me? Blast him to the depths of the labyrinth on Tartarus and back. Let the record show I did apologize for shouting him down 5 times, but architect be damned, it's just sitting there, neglected and gathering dust. I should have commandeered it and thanked him without asking permission, or breaking expensive equipment when he said it wasn't ready yet, and that, even if it were, he couldn't entrust it to someone like me. What does that even mean, I ask? That I'm not trustworthy enough? That I'd use it to wipe out the good, hard-working folks of the colony like some sort of moralist psycho? Uh, I'll admit to maintaining some questionable associations, but I follow a strict code of me, myself, and mine. What's not to respect in that? Exactly. Now I have to wait until Wells forgets or thinks he's misplaced it. In the meanwhile, I have been tracking down additional rumors pertaining to others of these science weapons throughout Halcyon. If gossip holds true, my next step will be to check with the black market merchants of the Groundbreaker and in Fallbrook. Sam. First Sam result. Do not forget, you found a discarded sanitation and maintenance automechanical in Emerald Vale's scrap heap during your last job. Should not be too difficult to get it up and running. With a few key modifications, I can envision a combat-capable variant. Some might say a clean, mean killing machine. Should be fun. Removal of factory standard part SUDS Steeper was successful. Delivery of combat-modified replacement part Acid Steeper has been delayed. Progress setback is estimated now to be a solid 3 months. Not like I have more pressing matters to attend to. But I do. I'm giving up hope on the delivery. The part is lost in transit and it's not turning up anytime soon. But good news. I heard from a fellow who knows a gal who knows the broker who overcharged me for the information regarding the location of an acid steeper I can filch. The part was sent to an old storage facility in Roseway. I sure never thought I'd go back to that pit. Good thing Auntie abandoned it years ago. I'll pick it up following the next pit stop back to Emerald Vale. Wells wants me to chaperone some person of interest, details to come later. I would like to investigate the navigational computer. I can also chat with you,
Welcome
right?
back, Captain. How can I be of assistance?
I certainly can.
Take care. I require a functioning captain to run the ship.
I would like to just have a look at you. Okay. So I'm here on Terra 2, right? And what is here? I cannot select it, okay? If I do this, I can select Edgewater landing pad, okay. An abandoned asteroid facility located in the rings of Terra 2. Okay, there is a docking bay. Groundbreaker. Again, docking bay. Olympus. Monarch. Warning dangerous Cascadia landing pad. Ariadnes. Okay, and Scylla. So we need to go to the Groundbreaker. Okay. That is about Groundbreaker and Phineas. Okay. That leads me to where? Roseway, but I don't know where Roseway is. And that is also on the Groundbreaker. So okay. I don't think I have Roseway on this map. Okay, so for now we will wrap it up. The plan for the next approach for the next episode is to investigate where is the Roseway, talk to Ada as well, because I did not have a conversation with her yet. Then I will probably visit the Phineas Wells lab. Maybe I can take a shrink ray. That would be interesting. I mean, all these points in sneak should pay off, right? What else? Else we yeah, then we will probably go to the Groundbreaker and yeah, explore this part. For now, however, I'd like to say thank you for staying with me. I hope you enjoy my company and my gameplay. If that is the case, then please leave me a like and subscribe to the channel, or otherwise let me know down in the comments what I can improve for you. I hope to see you next time. Have a nice day out there, and bye.